Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and here I'm going to be going over the Vivint Sky security system panel and the app on your phone. I've had this for about 18 months now. I did a video 10 months ago. It was my second video about this, and then of course I have the original video, which is whenever I first received it, which it had just come out, like, I don't know, within the month that I purchased it, the system to begin with. So I did another follow-up one, which was my second video 8 months later, and now we're doing it 10 months from the 8 months, so that's 18 months of ownership for this thing. It's gone through about 3 updates, I think. This one being the newest one, which closely resembles the app, and that's one of the things you'll notice about the home screen, which we're at now. Used to be that the home screen was the kind of weather screen there when it first came on, but now we're greeted with good afternoon, everything looks good, your home is ready to arm. And basically all you do to arm it is just like the app, you'll drag it to staying or leaving. We'll do staying.
Arming stay.
You can cancel.
System disarmed. Ready to arm.
And then here you got your activity log, a log of events. So you can go back and look and go, hey, when someone been home, disarmed, armed, blah, blah, blah. And it tells by whom from the app, so that's nice. And then the weather, for some reason this reads all zeros. Before I did this video, I rebooted the panel just to make sure there wasn't any updates and things like that. I was kind of combing through it, and for whatever reason the weather part has not updated yet, but normally it says, you know, what the temps are and stuff. So in the high and low, it's always worked before, so I don't know why it's not loaded up yet, but we'll come back to that. Hopefully it'll be loaded up. You can see it's plugged in and the audio is on. A lot of times it'll switch to battery powered if the power goes out or something like that. But here's our thermostat controls. You know, down here's the home, so here is the thermostat. You can go home at any time from here as well, and you can also, if they have an emergency, you can push this. You got panic, emergency, and fire that show up. You can always go home there, or you can always go back up at the top there, so that's an option. Now here's your thermostat controls, which this is a lot like the previous app before it got updated, and we'll go over it in a minute. I really love the new experience of the app. They really done a lot of work to it. It looks good in this area on the app. Now I wish they would update this to mimic the app, which they may be getting to that, so I'm not gonna like dog them out for that yet until it's been a period of time and then whatever. But upstairs it shows you what your condition is, so it's idle. My unit's not running right now. Name it whatever you want. I'm gonna cancel that. You can change mode, auto to cold or hot, fan, whatever. Hold, you want a permanent hold on that auto mode. Fan, auto, or on. You can set up your scheduling and all that stuff. So let's go back to thermostats from the top here. You can switch, have 2 units, so I can go downstairs to control, or upstairs, or downstairs. You see I'm here, the heat is off there, it tells you the status of it right below it, which is nice. Then go back to upstairs, and then here's your controls. So you want to adjust the cool target or the heat target, you can do that there, and it tells you your current temp as it sits, so that's nice. And you can also connect Z-Wave, or really a large amount of accessories to this panel. We'll go over how to do that in a little bit, but you can control that there. I have one light right now that I'm using from the app and the panel itself. I've dubbed it light. You can name it whatever you want. This will cut on and off my light like so. It just turned it off and it turned it on, so it works. Go there, and this is your kind of menu settings here for it. You got your emergency activity log, which you already done those. We could see those, how to get to those from the home screen earlier. Then we got settings and support. So let's go to settings, and this is where I'll put, or you will put in your pin. Okay, so I entered my pin, and now I'm into the settings menu. These are dumbed down settings for the most part, because they don't want you changing anything or making boo-boos and getting yourself into something you can't get out of. So these are dumbed down settings for you to be able to get to the hardcore settings. That would be in the installer toolbox, but we've got volume controls for everything here. And this is your panel volume and your doorbell volume. We got panel brightness, timeout date, and you want to clean your screen, you do that here, and I think it's 30 seconds is what it'll give you. Yeah, 30 seconds, which is important, and I recommend just using a microfiber cloth, the kind that cleans tablet screens and things like that. That's what I use, and I keep it in a drawer close to the panel, and it does a great job of removing smudges without having to use any kind of chemicals whatsoever, and it does a great job of getting rid of fingerprints. Now we can go back out of the screen cleaning and go to panel settings, and it goes back up one where we were. Temperature unit, we can go to Fahrenheit to Celsius, and this is where we can reboot the panel, which I did earlier, and that's what's causing the weather portion to kind of drag on updating, I guess. And now we can go back a page again, back to the settings menu, and now we've got devices, and we've got downstairs, upstairs, my light, and my key fobs, and all the sensors I have. And this is just another way to get to from devices like we did earlier, and once you click on the downstairs or upstairs thermostat, it will go right into where we were earlier and be able to adjust the device itself. And this is where you can put in temporary users or whatever you want, or submit a user to the panel, a permanent user, or just a temporary one. You can do that here and add it in users and permissions. Here's your advanced settings for security. You can do a system test, bypass a sensor. Networking tells you the status of your online situation. Cellular, it'll tell you what the cellular situation is in here. Your Z-Wave, it'll check your network for your Z-Wave, and we'll run through that and run a diagnostics. And nodes, and in here it's 3 recognized nodes found, my upstairs, downstairs, and my light switch. Thermostats are Z-Wave, and my light is Z-Wave. You can purchase Z-Wave stuff for like 20 to 30 bucks. If you kind of savvy shopper, you can find them for that. So they're very cheap to buy yourself and add. Now we're down to the installer toolbox, and this is where you put in the installer pin, and it's a universal generic pin, which is 2203. 2203. Remember that. But you get into here, and this is where you get into some sketchy type things, which you can mess some things up. And this goes beyond the advanced settings that they allow you to have. This is the overall settings for everything, so you can add and take things away. You can add zones, key fobs, keypads, entry and exit installer stuff. I mean, it's just beyond what you need to do once you have everything set up. And this does work with a Nest unit too. Check that out, that's pretty cool. So if you have a Nest thermostat, you can set that up there. You just click it. Once you get your Nest on and stuff, it'll recognize it and go through the motions of that, which is kind of self-explanatory. The installer toolbox, you don't need to be super educated in the unit. It kind of walks you through. It's kind of a easy process when you're doing something. And just like adding a Z-Wave or a node, you can add a node, and it kind of walks you through that. I'm not going to mess with this now because I actually have it set up the way I want, and I like it. So just play with this section here if you're setting up a Z-Wave device. It's plain and simple once you get started doing it. Say you want to add a node, ready to identify device, initiate the inclusion sequence on the device now. So basically put it in where it's searching to be paired up mode or whatever. It will find it, and then you can title and name it whatever you want. And yeah, that's kind of how you add a Z-Wave thing. It's not difficult at all. Cameras, if you want to add a camera, do that. And here is the update section, and it kind of tells you the current version that you're running. And it'll tell you if you're up to date or not, and it says up to date. It kind of updates itself. There's one occasion that I had to come in here and manually find an update that wasn't there, and I think that was on the second update of the panel that I've noticed. But I got with them, and they said that it is supposed to update itself, the panel does, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. But for whatever reason, it hung up in there, so you may want to like create a habit of, hey, you know, it's once every 6 months, just look in here and make sure it's updated itself. But remember, 2203 is the installer code. Now we're back out of the installer toolbox. We've pretty much gone over everything in the settings. Also, you can click support here, and you'll go in there to give you a number to contact support. You'll see your user license agreement and all that good stuff is in that section there. So you can go back to home here or here. And that's kind of it. And my weather still hasn't reset itself yet. But yeah, so this has been the little overview of the Vivid Sky panel. I'm pleased with the panel. I've had no issues with this at all. I think it's a very well made panel. Like a lot of times you can see some of the cheaper things, you know, like if you drag your finger across with these ripples around to follow it. So there's a good glass little screen over it there. It's a nice tablet embedded in there, I'm sure, but I've had zero problems with it. So now let's go to the app since we're finished with the panel and check it out. All right, now looking at the app itself, I like to keep everything super nice and neat because you'll see security in all my folders and everything. Some people's phones, like, you'll pick up and you're like, what in the hell? But anyway, you go security, my Vivid Sky, and you'll see it glows up pretty fast. Which they've improved a lot. It used to not be as smooth as that. And you'll notice it looks just like, I mean, identical to the panel here, which stay or leave. It's just like the panel. Now this is where I wish they would integrate this to the panel, because this on the app is actually better. So now you've got both downstairs and upstairs, but it's like circular, like an old style thermostat or something. But you can click downstairs and you can control it plus or minus here, or actually touch it on the screen and move it how you want it for your heat and your cold there. So I like that a lot. It's just really fluid, and you can go into the same kind of settings and set up a schedule and stuff as you could in the panel. So this is really nice. You see how quick and fast it all is. They've done like jump miles ahead of where it began in the app. This is on and off the light. See it just come on and off inside my home. And then you can go here, see that guy? And then you can set a picture of whatever you want your home to be. And you can see your activity log, custom actions. Now you got rules, which are for your outlets. You can turn off light when my home is armed, turn on light to 100% when my home is disarmed. You can create a new rule if you want. Notifications, if any doors are left open more than 10 minutes, you'll get a notification on here about it. If any window is left open for 10 minutes, you'll get a notification. So I have those set up to where if I accidentally leave a window or door open, it'll let me know about it, which is good for garage doors. So if you get this system, please get those put on garage doors too, because you don't want to go on vacation and have an oopsie. At least you're 10 minutes out. You can turn around and come back, forget that. Or you can spend a lot of money and get those Wi-Fi controlled garage doors. Then you got your settings and support down here, which is the same as the panel. But yeah, it's kind of plain Jane, really clean and plain, and that's what I like. It's not jumbled up with a lot of stuff, because really all you want to do is get to disarming and arming this, and then your thermostats controls, and that's kind of all you want, maybe your light. But it's super quick, and I think they've done a great job with the app and the panel. The progression of it has been fantastic. It's one of those things that they just didn't come out with and leave alone. I see people have issues with it. I don't understand what the issues are, because I have zero issues. My price, my monthly bill has maintained and stayed exactly the same as whenever I signed the contract in the beginning. If something accidentally happens or whatever, they'll call quick. You get notifications out the wazoo, email, text, and phone. So I have no problems with it. Also, please subscribe to the channel. That helps me grow. I've grown a lot this year. This is my first video of 2016, and it's a pleasure to do these things and get feedback from it. So if there was something you didn't like, let me know down in the comments section. Also, if you're on a device and you're on the YouTube app itself, there's a little bell symbol that you can hit, and that will notify you whenever I make uploads, so that you'll get those notifications in your notification bar. And if you're on a desktop, you can go in there in settings on my channel and also set it to notify you on uploads. So do that please, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.